The name of the article I chose is Nutrition-Focused Group Intervention with a Strength-Based Counseling Approach for People with Clinical Depression, a study protocol for the Food for Mind randomized control trial. Depression is a globally prevalent illness affecting approximately 250 million people around the world and causes a significant decrease in a person's quality of life, workability, and functional capacity. Depression is often associated with obesity and is mainly treated with pharmacology, but many times antidepressant drugs only work 1 out of 3 times and have adverse effects including weight gain. The International Society for Nutrition Psychiatry Research advocates for the recognition of nutrition as an essential part of improving quality of life, not on its own, but as part of the healing process. In the intervention, 144 participants with a diagnosis of moderate to severe depression were equally divided into 2 categories. Food for Mind nutrition intervention was the first group, and the Bring Good Mood social support control group, which is a traditional group therapy approach for depression. The intervention consisted of 6 group sessions over an 8-week period. The Food for Mind approach involves improving diet quality, very similar to the Mediterranean diet, by applying strength-based behavioral nutrition counseling and activities facilitated by a registered dietitian. The diet focuses on consumption of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, fish, monounsaturated oils, nuts and seeds, and fat-free or low-fat dairy products. The registered dietitian also incorporated a weekly home activity and facilitated group discussion by sharing through the WhatsApp on the participants' phones, where they shared daily meals with each other, moments of gratitude during their day, their exercise, and more. The depressive symptoms and quality of life were assessed through self-reported questionnaires. Behavioral nutrition counseling utilizes a strength-based counseling approach, which is based on equality and a patient-centered approach. The participants identified existing strengths that they each had, which increased their self-efficacy and applied a solution-focused mindset rather than problem-focused. The results of the study were the Nutrition Group Intervention Study increased evidence-based knowledge on the effectiveness of the diet quality in the treatment of depression, as well as its ability and cost effectiveness. It has also been noticed that patient-centered counseling, which supports autonomy and strengthens motivation, self-control, and competence, is likely to result in a more long-term change compared to traditional counseling. This was shown in a change in the CESD depression scale score from the baseline to the 12-month follow-up. The theoretical framework that was used based off of the research design and activities implemented was the theory of planned behavior. The theory of planned behavior is behavioral achievement depending on motivation and the ability encompassing a person's attitude, intention for behavior, both subject and social norms, their perceived power, and finally, their perceived behavioral control. In the experimental group, in the Food and Mind nutrition intervention sessions, they showed behavioral intention to see if the intervention will help with their depression. Their attitude towards the intervention was positive and hopeful, making this theory useful in this setting. Using the WhatsApp on their phone, they continuously shared with each other daily pictures of their food, meaningful parts of their day, what exercise they were doing, and supported each other. This increases their own perceived power and also having the support of the registered dietitian and their fellow group mates. Their confidence is in making healthy eating choices along with mindful and gratitude practices daily increased drastically. The subject norms, the other participants in their group, were all supportive in one another's journey to improving their depression, which is a key part of this theory, that having the people around you approve of your choices will benefit compared to disapproval. This theory also worked for this type of study as all participants were given the same resources for each group. Therefore, one of the limitations of the theory that not all individuals receive access to opportunity or resources does not necessarily apply in this situation unless they have received previous resources before beginning the 8-week program. However, economic factors were not considered, and no additional influences on intention or motivation were mentioned other than wanting to improve depression and quality of life. Using the theory of planned behavior model in research in the future could be useful because it focuses on the individual's motivation and ability to change, and having motivation at any given stage or circumstances can have positive outcomes. It is also a large part of motivational interviewing, which can also be used to implement patient-centered behavioral change. However, because it has limitations such as not considering environmental and economic factors, overcoming barriers, and not taking into account a nonlinear decision-making or behavioral process, the trans-theoretical model might be the better approach, as it does take into account setbacks and barriers, and also identifies them as well as solutions to overcoming the challenges, as the person is still on the path of fully accepting and maintaining the changed behavior.